Sean's View Entertainment in the midst of a monumental, historic, in my lifetime, the most snow I've ever seen at some 28 to 32 inches of snow. Absolutely ravishing the backyard, ravishing, dominating, and really setting a precedent at an all-time high as concerns snow and all the whiteness and all the glory, if you want to call it glory. It is sickening. It is twisted, the amount of snow that we have got in the northeast area. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is absurd. It wasn't enough that we saw a bunch of snowstorms before this. It has been a very treacherous winter. The last couple of months for winter, and thank God winter will be ending and will come to a halt very soon. Can't come soon enough, to be honest with you. But with all the snow that is coming down, and again, over my 37 plus years, I have never seen anything quite like this. You know, there was a lot of question about Monday Night Raw tonight. There was a lot of confliction about Raw tonight and travel issues. And again, I understand that Atlanta was not hit, but it was the WWE superstars and the trucks and the production that had to get to Atlanta from where they were because of the storm. Because you got to understand, this storm didn't just hit Mass and Rhode Island. No. This storm hit multiple different states. So that's where we're at with the storm right now. It is a historic storm, a storm that we will not soon forget here on the Brash and the Brazen. But speaking about being pretty brazen, this so-called badass construction worker is going online claiming that he will enter the ring and he will humiliate Brock Lesnar and Matt Riddle. Again, you can find this, just look up construction worker, WWE online. This guy's going on these rants. This guy's going on a tangent. This guy thinking he knows what he's talking about. He thinks he knows what he's doing. I don't think he really knows what he's getting himself into by inviting a guy like a Matt Riddle or a Brock Lesnar to fight him, saying that he will humiliate them. Now, I don't know how far that would go. That's pretty extreme if you ask in the Brash and the Brazen. But what's also extreme is the snowstorm that is blanketing my area. But what is also extreme is that it would appear as if WWE Raw, again, we're getting, updates as it happens, as it goes down. It seems like WWE Raw will happen. WWE Raw will go down tonight with the phenomenal AJ Styles, a big tribute to him. Also, breaking news on WrestleMania 42. Now, Gunther was on a show earlier this morning. I guess it must have been one of the states that wasn't hit by this historic snowstorm. And Gunther was asked about Brock Lesnar and how people and certain wrestlers are, overstaying their welcome and they're staying too far beyond what they should have. And Gunther has now hinted at retiring Brock Lesnar, which is very interesting and it is very worrying because, Gunther has already eliminated and retired the likes of Goldberg and John Cena and AJ Styles. And will there be others added to that list? Will there be a twist? Again, Gunther has now put it out there that he wants to retire Brock Lesnar. Now, that is definitely going to be easier said than done. So that is what we are hearing and receiving on that front. Also, former WWE Champion in-ring return. No, I'm not talking about Jinder Mahal, who was backstage at NWA. No, I am not talking about that. Not at all. No. We're talking about JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, explaining former WWE Champion, one of the greatest champions in SmackDown history during the time of, you had The Undertaker, you had Booker T, you had Eddie Guerrero, you had the top of the top, you had the best of the best on SmackDown during that time. And that was right after Brock Lesnar left the company to go try out football and the UFC. But JBL is now explaining why in-ring comeback fell apart after TNA creative changes. I guess we would have seen JBL in active competition in a wrestling way in TNA. What would you have thought about JBL in TNA? Also, WWE stars to join the new Bella Twins faction. Is WWE creating a new Bella Twins faction? Is that something you would be interested and invested to see in Brie and Nikki Bella, the Bella Twins? Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, the Rascals didn't need AEW to buy their TNA theme. Here's how they actually kept it. Again, the Rascals going in depth about that for those of you that care and pay attention to that. But we have a lot more to get into because breaking news on the main event, the main attraction for next year's WrestleMania 43. We haven't even got to this year's main event. We haven't even touched upon WrestleMania this year yet. But, ladies and gentlemen, there is already there's already push for the WWE to play in WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. There is a push from those that know, primarily Paul Heyman, pushing for the WWE to play in WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. What do you think? What do you feel should be the main event of next year's WrestleMania for the WWE or World Heavyweight Championship? And will the current champion still be the champion by next year's WrestleMania, or will the WWE look a hell of a lot different by the time WrestleMania 43 ultimately rolls around? Also, Jacob Fatu open to tagging with Bad Bunny against Logan Paul and Tom Brady. Imagine that mega match at WrestleMania. The stars will be aligning for that one. Also, JBL reacts to Chris Jericho WWE return rumors amid the big Raw mystery box angle. Everybody is talking about this mystery box. What's in it? What's behind it? Why is it here? What is it doing? Why now? What is up with this mystery box? Also, we are receiving word right now that JBL is blasting Booker T worst announcer claim, calls critics bozos. Do you believe that Booker T is one of the worst announcers of all time? Also, breaking news on the great John Cena, the GOAT himself. Drew McIntyre addresses missing out on John Cena's match at WWE Crown Jewel in an interview. Trick Williams admits that Lash legend friend-zoned him after an awkward first attempt. Also, Randy Orton, we got breaking news on the Viper. Randy Orton, the RKO himself. Randy Orton says that one more world title would mean the world ahead of WrestleMania 42. Now, we've heard rumor and gossip and speculation about Randy Orton and WWE Creative and the booking of his character. You know, there is some judgment. There's some backlash. There is some outrage there between Randy Orton and the booking of his character, taking loss after loss after loss. And, you know, could anybody really blame Randy Orton for what the WWE is putting him through right now? Again, could there be some collusion? Could there be some illusion? Could this be built up into something more than what we're getting or what we're seeing behind the scenes as concerns the volatile Viper himself, Randy Orton? And can Randy Orton do it one more time? Randy Orton's got one more chance. Randy Orton's got one more opportunity to make it to WrestleMania, but Randy Orton also suffered a devastating loss to Aleister Black on Smackdown, which nobody saw coming. Also, what WWE star is dealing with huge anxiety going into the Elimination Chamber? Well, Rhea Ripley says when you're locked in one of those pods, there is nothing but pure anxiety while you're waiting inside one of those pods because you are the space there's not much there. You are so secluded and there's nowhere to go, there's nowhere to hide, and you're just locked in that little pod waiting to come out, and the anxiety is absolutely off the chains. That is what Rhea Ripley is saying as she explains the Elimination Chamber. Also, we are receiving word that Trick Williams explains why fans erupt when his music hits online. Also, Chelsea Green says that gamers have me to thank for the WWE 2K Dumpster Match edition. And what do you think about the new WWE 2K26 video game that'll be coming out in a few days' time? Have you already played it? Have you already seen it? What do you think about the new WWE video game, WWE 2K26? Also, Royce Keys, viewers, fans, and subscribers, who we all know as he was Powerhouse Hobbs in AEW. Well, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters at this time, Powerhouse Hobbs, now known as Royce Keys in the WWE, is opening up, is talking about being stabbed and being shot. And he talked about this extensively in a recent interview, which you can go find online. Also, breaking news on a major top champion, a world's champion. According to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters at this time, we are receiving word that Joe Hendry says that NXT Championship is the physical embodiment of his WWE grind. Do you agree with Joe Hendry being the current reigning defending NXT champion? Also, Obafemi challenges Tom Brady to step into the ring after his WWE is cute comment. Seems like all signs are alluding to Tom Brady being involved in the WWE potentially perhaps at WrestleMania in some way, shape, or form. Jacob Fatu is now explaining and saying that he almost got fired before I got hired ahead of his signing to WWE. And we would not get to see the excellence of Jacob Fatu if he would have got fired at that stage of the game. Also, breaking news on Trish Stratus, one of the GOATs of the women's division. Trish Stratus explains how she turned First Crutch legacy into a smart business maneuver. And breaking news on the WWE Championship, Smackdown, and Drew McIntyre. As Drew McIntyre is now declaring Smackdown title the #1 championship in the company today. Do you agree with that? Do you believe with that, ladies and gentlemen? Do you believe that the WWE title is the #1 title in all of wrestling today, or is it the world title held by the best in the world, CM Punk? Why and why not? Also, Tiffany Stratton reveals what she did during her extensive absence away from WWE TV. Also, Chelsea Green says that she is healing up much faster after ankle injury. And again, as we said early in the program, Gunther does not rule out retiring Brock Lesnar. Are we going to see something happen tonight? What are we going to see? What is Brock Lesnar going to say or do? Is the WWE going to plant the seeds for Lesnar's WrestleMania course of action tonight? Also, Randy Orton, again, Tom Brady, there he goes, getting involved again, intersected, intertwined. Whether Tom Brady wanted to be a part of this or not, I don't know. But Randy Orton now threatens to RKO Tom Brady after WWE is cute remark. As you can see, there is a lot of backlash about Tom Brady online, and the WWE superstars are speaking out about it. Also, Janelle Grant is being accused of drowning out stories of real abuse victims amid the Vince McMahon lawsuit. Again, this according to those online. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, and your emotions on all of that. The WWE Raw preview for February the 23rd, the confirmed matches, the start time, and how to watch on Netflix. Of course, a lot of people would say we hope to know how to watch once again down the line on the USA Network, but I just don't know if that is in the cards at this time. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, we are receiving word that AAA on Fox tapings in Mexico could be canceled amid cartel violence. You heard that. A massive cancellation. Now, this is big. This is huge. This is absolutely monumental. Again, AAA on Fox, which they just got this deal. They've just been on there. Tapings in Mexico could be canceled amid the cartel violence. And we got breaking news on WrestleMania 42 and the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre may be heading into WrestleMania 42 as the undisputed WWE Champion, but if the latest update is accurate, he won't be defending the title in a one-on-one match. According to reports, that McIntyre could hold on to the title through WrestleMania and potentially face Cody Rhodes again on the grand stage. And a new report suggests that WWE is going in a completely different direction. Speaking during a Q&A session on today, WrestleVotes revealed that the current internal plan for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania 42 is anything but a singles match. At this point, it's shaping up to be anything but a singles match. The expectation is a 5-pack or even a 6-pack challenge for the WWE Championship. WrestleVotes didn't stop there. They also named potential participants who could be added to the WrestleMania mix. It's wild to think that Aleister Black, Jacob Fatu, and Sami Zayn could all be a part of the WWE title match at WrestleMania. Whether it's a 4-man, a 5-man, or even a 6-man match for the WWE title. But certainly it will not be a one-on-one match. So this obviously is going to be a huge uphill challenge for one Drew McIntyre. And can you imagine how Drew McIntyre is going to respond to that? Can you imagine how Drew McIntyre's reaction is going to be to that? So the WWE is going to be pulling out all the stops for the WWE title. And again, yes, we did talk about an attempted murder, the attempted murder of Royce Keys, former Powerhouse Hobbs of AEW. He talked about going through the trenches, being shot, being murdered, almost being stabbed. So, you know, Royce Keys has earned his stripes to be on the WWE main roster. But will he be able to take those stabbings and those thrashings and those shootings and turn it into a huge positive going forth for his WWE career? And you got to wonder, what are the WWE going to be cooking up for one Royce Keys on the main roster in World Wrestling Entertainment. Guys, this is where we provide you with the hottest, the latest, the greatest, the newest, the most definitive, the most defiant. This is your unapologetic source, Sean View Entertainment. Subscribe, because we're going to turn it up to an all-time high.